Smart people don't usually get trapped by scams.
So why do millions of smart people get trapped by credit cards? Because the biggest trap isn't the interest. It's something much more subtle. And even smart people fall for it every single day. Think about this. Doctors, engineers, lawyers, business owners, people with six-figure incomes.
Many of them still end up drowning in credit card debt.
It's not because they're bad at math. It's because credit cards quietly change the way the human brain spends money. Once you understand that, you'll never look at your wallet the same way again. Let's clear up one myth immediately. Credit cards aren't evil. In fact, they can be incredibly useful. Fraud protection, travel insurance, rewards, cashback, purchase protection. Millions of people use them responsibly.
The problem isn't the card. The problem is how our brains react when we use one.
Most people believe every purchase is a logical decision.
But our brains don't actually work that way.
When you're physically handing over cash, your brain registers the loss immediately. Swipe a card, tap your phone, and that feeling becomes much weaker. Your brain barely notices the money leaving. The purchase still happens. The emotional cost doesn't. That's where the trouble begins. Meet Alex. Alex isn't reckless. Alex has a good job, pays rent on time, and would never call himself bad with money. Every morning, Alex taps his card for coffee. $6. Barely a thought. Lunch, another tap. $14. An app subscription renews quietly in the background. $12. None of it feels like spending. It feels like nothing at all. Now imagine the same week, but every one of those purchases was cash. Alex would have to physically count out bills, watch them leave his hand, and feel the wallet get thinner. He'd notice. He'd hesitate. Maybe he'd skip the app renewal.
But with a tap, there's no wallet getting thinner.
No visible drop. Just a number that updates itself somewhere he isn't looking. Behavioral researchers call this the pain of paying. The easier payment becomes, the less painful spending feels. And when spending feels painless, people often spend more. That's not because Alex is irresponsible. It's because his brain isn't getting the feedback it evolved to expect. Credit cards separate buying from paying. And by the time the statement arrives, Alex isn't looking at one decision. He's looking at 90 of them, all bundled into a number too large to trace back to any single tap. And here's the scary part. Alex isn't unusual. Now banks add something else. Rewards, cashback, travel points, miles. It sounds amazing. Spend more, earn more. The rewards aren't the product. Your spending is. Have you ever bought something just because you didn't want to miss the points? Alex has. He upgraded a flight he didn't need to upgrade just to hit the next rewards tier. Suddenly he's not thinking, do I need this? He's thinking, I'm earning rewards. The reward becomes the justification. The purchase becomes easier. Banks understand something important. People love getting something back, even if they spend far more to get it.
The cashback isn't usually the trap.
The extra spending is. Here's another trick. Minimum payment due. It sounds helpful. It feels manageable. Maybe it's only $50. Maybe $100. Your brain says, I can afford that. In many countries today, average credit card interest rates are around 20% or even higher.
But the balance barely moves.
Interest keeps growing. Months become years.
Minimum payments don't make debt disappear.
They make it comfortable enough to stay. And that's exactly why they're so dangerous. Here's something else that happens. credit quietly increases your lifestyle. Alex's paycheck says yes to a $300 purchase. His available credit says yes to a $2,000 purchase. Over time, those bigger purchases start feeling normal. A better phone, a nicer trip, furniture he deserves after a hard year. Not because his income increased, because his borrowing capacity increased. A year later, Alex isn't spending against this month's paycheck anymore. He's spending tomorrow's income to pay for today's lifestyle. And he never made one big, reckless decision to get there. He made 100 small painless ones. The same tap, over and over, each one too small to notice on its own. Remember the question from the beginning? Why do smart people still struggle? Because intelligence doesn't eliminate psychology. A surgeon can understand anatomy and still overspend.
An accountant can calculate compound interest and still carry credit card debt.
Alex could explain exactly how interest works. He still didn't notice his own spending creeping upward, because the feeling that should have warned him was never there to begin with. Knowing something and consistently acting on it are two different skills. Banks don't need you to misunderstand interest. They just need you to underestimate your own behavior. So does this mean you should cut up every credit card? Not necessarily. People who manage money will usually follow a few simple rules. They never spend money they don't already have. They pay the full balance every month. They don't chase rewards.
They don't finance lifestyles with debt.
And before buying anything expensive, they wait. Sometimes 24 hours. Sometimes longer. Because time weakens impulse. And impulse is where most expensive decisions begin. Alex eventually figured this out, not by cutting up his card, but by rebuilding the one thing the card had removed, a moment of friction before every tap. Credit cards don't usually make people poor overnight. They do it slowly. One painless tap. Another.
Until spending starts happening automatically. The way it did for Alex, every morning, without a single thought behind it.
Alex still uses a credit card today.
The difference is, now he controls it.
It doesn't control him. The smartest financial decision isn't avoiding credit. It's making sure credit never starts controlling your decisions. The easiest dollar to control is the one you haven't spent yet. This isn't a channel for people chasing reward or hacks. It's for people who want to understand how money really works. If that's you, welcome to Wealth Clarity.
Let's build wealth together.